What's up? What's up? What's up? My name is Josh Smith, and welcome to the first movie review on my channel. We are reviewing Spider-Man Far From Home. I'm so excited to review this movie. Okay, now I want to say, spoiler warning if you have not seen the movie. I'm going to be talking about key points of the movie. I'm going to talk about spoilers. I'm going to talk about all that good stuff in this review. So click away, go see the movie, then come on back. Alright. Now, Spider-Man Far From Home. It hit me as soon as I Will Always Love You started playing. And then it was so beautiful to play with the logos. I feel like that was such a strong and good choice because it made me I got a little sentimental because I've been with these guys for so long, and some of them have passed away because of Endgame, and some of them got old because of Endgame. So, some of them passed away because of Infinity War. So I mean, hearing "I Will Always Love You" with Whitney Houston singing it and seeing all these superheroes, I really loved that. Now I especially loved it when the school started doing it. It was like the Marvel logos, and then like the school video started, and it kept on playing. "I Will Always Love You." I will always love that because that was amazing. Now the world post blip. That is such an interesting thing to think about because we didn't have a blip in our reality, and just to see how that affected people that were just living. They're just living their lives, to be honest. And I get it gave the Marvel Cinematic Universe a richness to it and a realness to it. I'm thinking they're making this universe more and more real each movie they go, especially when they dived in there with that blip. And I think they kind of did something like that with the original. I'm not the original Spider-Man, but Spider-Man Homecoming. They did that with the after the battle at New York. They did something similar to that, and I'm really digging it. Spider-Man post snap. Woo, he is toe up. I would understand. You lost Uncle Ben, now you lost Tony. What is going on? Spider-Man is in such an interesting place that I think we've all been because we all have lost someone dear and near to our hearts. Maybe two, maybe three, maybe four. And you can watch him and see. Sorry if y'all can hear that. A bus is going by. I don't understand why they're going by it. It's the summertime. Anyway, we all understand that feeling. And Tom Holland captured that so well. I think this has been his best performance as Spider-Man in my opinion. I think I'm so happy to see him as Spider-Man. Like that movie was amazing, and Tom Holland did great. Uh, Fury. Now Fury has not taken a role like this in a Marvel movie since, to be honest, I think he hasn't taken a role like this in a Marvel movie since Captain America Winter Soldier, in my opinion. To me, he was so integral in the process of everything. Everything. And then Mysterio was messing with my mind. But we haven't got there yet. Mysterio was messing with my mind. But Fury, I like this Fury. I really do. I missed Fury in the past movies and I didn't realize it until I saw him in this movie. Anyway, now we're coming on to Mysterio. Mysterio was messing with my mind. Now Mysterio, I was all for it. Now I know I had knowledge of Mysterio in the comics, so it's like, man, well, this is such an interesting take on Mysterio. He's a superhero, I guess. And the way they marketed the movie, you would think that they just was like, oh, we're gonna rebrand Mysterio since we've killed a lot of characters. So I was like, But then when that twist came, my mouth was was like, no, no, this can't be happening. This can't. Mysterio, I was with you. We were all with you. I would have trusted you. Of course, I'm similar to the age of Peter Parker, but I would have trusted Mysterio. He seemed so genuine, and Jake Gyllenhaal did a great job with Mysterio. I really hope I got his name right. Anyway, MJ. I loved Zendaya in this movie. Zendaya and Peter Parker reminded me of myself in high school. I never had an MJ in high school, but they reminded me of myself in high school with the and then you look at her and then you be like, I did all of that stuff in high school, and it was so I loved relating with these characters. MJ is such a dark character, and I love this take on MJ. And I don't know how to describe her. She is the yin to Peter Parker's yang, and they go so well together. They mesh so well together. I love that decision. All right, now let's talk about Ned. Ned, to me, in this movie, was extremely selfish, and I did not get that from Ned. The first movie, he was the guy in the chair in the first movie, and he was always he had Spider-Man's back, Peter Parker's back. Where's Peter Parker? Ned knows, It was always that. But in this movie, he seems so selfish. He went from, oh yeah, forget MJ, we're going to be European bachelors, yes. European bachelors, American bachelors in Europe. you know. I also thought it was clever to say far from home, Peter Parker was far from home. But to be honest, Tom Holland was home. Like that's where he's from. So I liked how they did that too. If that was intentional, I don't know if it was. But Ned did seem very, very selfish to me. But if that's his character, I want them to stick with it. And I want him to grow from that. Future MCU? Hey, call me. No. Plot twist. Now back to this plot twist. The plot twist in the middle of the movie. In the bar. I had no idea that any of that, well, of course, that's the purpose of a movie, but I did not know any of that was going to happen. It blew my mind. Now, sitting in the bar, and Jake Gyllenhaal and Peter Parker, Mysterio and Peter Parker, they were bonding, and they were, and what do you want, Peter? What do you want? And Peter was like, well, I don't know what I want. I don't know. Well, I guess I want MJ, and I want to take her on that scene. Pure perfectness. I don't even know if perfectness is a word, but pure perfectness. But when the minute where Peter was like, maybe Tony wanted me to pick who the next Iron Man was going to be, I knew he was going down the wrong road. And that was the moment I knew that Mysterio was going to be evil. That one right there, they kind of did the little Pixar thing where the person was evil and the audience didn't know and the characters didn't know, like on Zootopia, they kind of did that, kind of. But it was a twist. It was. I could say from the beginning of the movie I didn't know, but as soon as Spider-Man gave over those glasses, I knew that was a bad idea, and I knew he was going to be evil. Now, what was perfect about the plot twist and Mysterio was his illusions. I loved his illusions. I'll get to that in a second. His illusions were perfect. They were something, it seemed like they pulled that straight out of a cartoon. I seen something, or I don't know if y'all have played Disney Infinity, but Disney Infinity, they had a Spider-Man portion of that game, and they had Mysterio in that game, and they were so similar. Like playing Disney Infinity and then watching this movie, those two things were so similar in the way they pulled off the illusions. Of course, it was totally different ways at the same time, and it was the uniqueness to it that also gave it its realism, which was amazing. And I liked the small detail that they tried to keep They try to keep their magic in the Marvel universe an overarching magic. This is what magic is. This is how magic looks. Instead of making it this that person has this type of magic and this person has that, they made it look uniform. And I like that. A lot of movies don't do that, and they hit it on the head when they did that. When I saw Jake Gyllenhaal's character, why don't I just call him Mysterio? When I saw Mysterio with the triangles and it was very Doctor Strange ish, but then it also had a hint of Wanda's magic with the fog around it, and it was perfect. Jake Gyllenhaal's character did his research on the magic and how it was supposed to look, because when I saw that I was like, oh snap, this is how magic looks in the Marvel universe. That's how it's going to look from now on. No character should deviate from that. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Now, one thing that I did have a problem with Mysterio is they took it kind of took me out the movie a little bit when he was in they had that final showdown in that little thing. I don't know what it's called. It was just the archway, and Mysterio was about to shoot Peter Parker in the head. For some reason, it took me out the movie because at first I thought Peter Parker was shot. The way he was looking on camera, he was like that face he was making. I thought he was shot, and I was like, "How they gonna kill? He just survived Endgame. Why you gonna kill Peter Parker?" But then he had a gun, and I was like, "I mean, I guess, not really. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm being nitpicky. I don't know." Now, let's skip on down to the mid-credit scene. Mid-credit scene was pure perfection. I keep on saying everything about this movie is perfection, and I think this movie is up there with Endgame and Infinity War for me. This has been the best, in my opinion. But the mid-credit scene where Zendaya's MJ was like, "Oh, I am never doing that again." When she went swinging, she was like, "I'm never doing that again." That was such a cute moment. But when J.K. Simmons came on that screen and he said, I'm gonna, I was like, they got him to reprise his role. What? I was just having a conversation but before I seen this movie with someone, and I was like, ooh, what are they gonna do? Because no one can replace the original. He did such a great job. He was born for that role. Who are they gonna get to play it if they're going to play that role? If they're going to do it? And I was like, they're going to have to get the original, which I highly doubt they would. But then they did, and I was like, wow. That was great casting. Now, and it also set up a lot of greatness for the future of Spider-Man. We were missing a lot from this Spider-Man that we knew about Spider-Man from the comics, from cartoons, and from previous Spider-Man iterations. We knew some things about Spider-Man, and this is what he does, and this is how these people feel about him, and some hate him and some love him. We were missing kind of that, and this movie set it up for the next movie, which I'm highly excited for the next movie. Speaking of next movie, Marvel, hit your man up, because Miles Morales can enter this universe. If y'all want to come to me for ideas, come on. But I want to play Miles Morales. I feel like I was born for this role. I love Miles Morales. I read his comics. I watched every video on YouTube about him. I read every article about him. I love this character. And hey, I'll do anything for this role. Just come on, reach out to a guy. And I know how you can fit him in. This 5-year jump, just like they did with the character, oh gosh, his name was not Ben. I think his name was Dan. Correct me in the comics, please. But with that character, when he aged up with Peter and all of them, he was this hot dude. Miles can do something similar to that. It's been 5 years. Maybe Miles didn't disappear. And now Peter and Miles are around the same age, except Miles has not unlocked his power yet. I think that would be an amazing area to go for this next movie, especially with Peter being on the run. But then there's still evil out there, and you know what he's learned from his last two movies to be now teaching someone, Miles Morales, me, in his in the next movie. I think that's a perfect way to go. Of course, you don't have to listen to me, but please cast me. Anyway, that is all I have for y'all today on this movie review. Tell me what you thought about the movie in the comments below. Now, I would give this movie a 10 out of 10. I loved it. I loved it as much as I loved Into the Spider-Verse. I didn't do a review on that, but I love that movie too. I love Spider-Man, if y'all can't tell. But I give it out of 10 out of 10. Let me know what you thought about the movie in the comments below. We can start a discussion. Correct me if I was wrong on anything in the comments below. I don't mind. I have the tough skin. Go on ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Peace.